Today's story dives into a brutal game of survival, where nothing is as it seems. This is the 2020 dark comedy thriller, The Hunt.
Athena sits at her desk, casually scrolling through her phone. She's in the middle of a meme exchange with her friends when the conversation shifts. Someone brings up a mysterious manor and whispers about a hunt. Meanwhile, inside a private jet, a flight attendant leans toward a passenger, politely offering caviar. He scoffs, uninterested, and rattles off dishes that could only be made in a full kitchen. When she reminds him it's not possible, he smirks, making a snide comment, then casually asks for champagne instead. She leaves to fetch it, but as she returns to pour his drink, a man staggers into the cabin. The sudden intrusion terrifies her and the others seated nearby. One passenger mutters nervously. One of them woke up. An older gentleman quickly rises, claiming to be a doctor. He guides the stumbling man onto some towels, but to everyone's shock, he pulls out a blade and stabs him. The victim isn't dead yet. He thrashes violently, swinging a bottle at those around him. Suddenly, Athena herself enters, heels clicking across the cabin floor. Without hesitation, she drives her shoe into the man's chest, finishing him off. As she cleans the blood from her heel, someone remarks that the hunt hasn't even started. Athena coldly replies, "There's no room for sentiment in war." The doctor drags the barely alive man into another compartment, where he weakly pleads for help from a blonde woman strapped into her seat. She doesn't respond. She's unconscious. When the blonde finally awakens, she's no longer on the plane. She finds herself gagged and abandoned in the wilderness. Struggling to remove the restraint, she spots another gagged woman across a stream, fashioning a crude compass. The two lock eyes briefly, but the woman quickly walks away. Moments later, a man passes by, and the blonde follows him until they arrive at an open field. At the center of the field sits a massive wooden crate. More confused captives appear, circling the box cautiously. One man warns it's clearly a trap, but another ignores him and yanks it open. To everyone's surprise, a pig leaps out. Beneath it lies a rack stocked with weapons. Instantly, the prisoners rush toward the cache, desperate to arm themselves. The blonde manages to find the keys to their gags and helps free a man. Nobody knows why they're there or who's hunting them. Gunfire suddenly erupts. Bullets tear across the field, sending everyone scattering. The blonde believes she's safe, but a shot rips through her seconds later. Chaos ensues. One man tries to return fire, only to be gunned down. Another woman sprints for safety, falling into a ditch and impaling herself. A man rushes to help her, but moments later he steps on a hidden landmine. The explosion wipes them both out. Others scramble toward a distant fence. The man who first opened the crate lags behind. He's impaled by a spear, defiantly turning to face his pursuers, but is swiftly killed. 3 survivors make it over the fence and stumble into a nearby gas station. Inside, the couple who owns it eye them suspiciously, assuming they're robbers. One man, nicknamed Blue Shirt, pleads that they're not after money, only answers. He demands to know where they are. Calmly, the couple tells him they're in Arkansas. Blue Shirt grabs the phone to call the police. The owners reassure him the call will be traced, but before help arrives, something feels off. A woman in the group eats a cookie from the counter, then collapses, choking. The couple suddenly don gas masks and hurl a smoke grenade. Before Blue Shirt can fire at them, the shopkeeper shoots him dead. The others suffocate in the haze, their bodies swiftly disposed of. Later, while cleaning the mess, the wife notices Blue Shirt's wedding ring. Guilt flickers across her face, but her husband dismisses it cruelly, saying he was surely a bad man, maybe even racist. They argue briefly until a call crackles over the radio. Their overseer demands updates, and they reveal how many victims they've killed. She warns that another one is heading their way. Moments later, that survivor, Crystal, walks into the station. She plays the part of a weary traveler, asking for cigarettes and casually slipping emergency cash on the counter. When she inquires what state she's in, the wife answers, but Crystal notices subtle inconsistencies. Without warning, she springs into action, wrestles the shotgun from under the counter, and blasts the husband. She takes down the wife next, then calmly searches the station. Crystal finds the bodies of her fallen companions, scavenges ammo and supplies, and heads outside. A truck waits nearby. Inspecting it, she notices fake Croatian plates hidden beneath the American ones, and even a booby-trap door rigged with explosives. Using the stolen radio, she overhears her hunters searching for her. She hides as a drone buzzes overhead, then watches as a stranger shoots it down. When he approaches the truck, she warns him it's wired. The man introduces himself and shares his theory. They've been abducted by powerful elites who enjoy hunting deplorables for sport. Crystal doesn't buy it. She spots train tracks and urges him to follow. Together they jump onto a passing freight train, where they find a group of silent immigrants hiding. The man insists they're crisis actors, but Crystal isn't convinced. Suddenly, military police storm the train and detain everyone. As the captives line up, the paranoid man tries to expose the actors, but one refugee breaks character, speaking in fluent English. He mocks the man, calling him the real actor. In a panic, the man shoves a grenade into his pants, killing them both. Crystal is taken to a refugee camp in Croatia. There, officials demand her papers, but she insists on contacting the American embassy. Eventually, Dawn is brought in. Together they eat in the mess hall, Dawn repeating conspiracy theories about why they're being hunted. Soon, an American embassy official arrives to escort them. At first, he seems sympathetic, but Crystal grows suspicious. Her instincts prove correct. She incapacitates him, runs him over the car, and discovers a corpse hidden in the trunk. Dawn is horrified, but when he sees the body, he realizes she's right. Among the man's belongings, Crystal finds a map. She tells Dawn she intends to hunt their hunters. Back at the hunter's bunker, the elites argue over politics and language, mocking their soldier consultant. Over the radio, Athena reminds them to stay alert. Outside, Crystal and Dawn ambush one of the guards. Using the pig as a distraction, they infiltrate the bunker. Chaos erupts. Crystal guns down several hunters, kills the sniper, and finishes off the soldier after a brutal fight. But Dawn proves untrustworthy. Athena's voice on the radio demands he kill Crystal. Before he can act, Crystal shoots him.
The truth begins to unravel. Flashbacks reveal Athena was ousted from her company after conspiracy theorists accused her of orchestrating human hunts. Infuriated, she decided to make the rumors real, carefully hand-picking victims, including Crystal, whom she mistook for someone else with the same last name. Now, Crystal marches toward the manor. Athena taunts her through an intercom, warning that the gate is rigged with explosives. Crystal surrenders her gun and enters. Inside, Beethoven plays as Athena calmly cooks in the kitchen. Their tense conversation reveals the absurd mistake. Athena targeted the wrong Crystal. The two women explode into a savage fight. They brawl across the house, smashing furniture, hurling weapons, and clawing for survival. Athena stabs Crystal with a kitchen tool, but Crystal counters, impaling her with the same weapon. Athena collapses, finally dead. Wounded but alive, Crystal cauterizes her wound with a blowtorch, dresses herself in Athena's elegant clothes, and grabs an expensive bottle of champagne. Boarding Athena's private jet, she tells the stunned crew that their bosses are dead and that they'll be flying her home. Calmly, she sits, pours champagne, and even invites the stewardess to share a drink with her.